Welcome back to The Explainer. So today, I'm putting on my efficiency expert hat because we're looking at a reality that honestly plagues busy small business owners everywhere. We're talking about the quiet, subtle tech failures of your business phone system. We're sourcing this directly from some great industry insights at Diamond Voice and treat this explainer as your full efficiency audit. We're going to hunt down those silent leaks in your communication setup, and more importantly, show you exactly how to fix them. Okay, let's dive into this. Most phone problems aren't dramatic, they're quiet, subtle, avoidable. Now, this completely shifts how we need to look at our tech, right? It's rarely a massive, catastrophic system failure that really hurts a business. Now, instead, it's the tiny little cracks in the setup, not the technology itself, mind you, that end up draining your time, your energy, and ultimately your customers. So I want you to really ask yourself, is your phone system quietly costing you customers? As business owners, we rarely give our phone systems a second thought until they actively fail us. We just ignore the setup right up until a customer complains about a terribly crackling line, or maybe a tiny 3-second power flicker completely drops a high-stake sales call. We tolerate these small glitches, totally forgetting that to the person on the other end of the line, that glitch is literally their entire experience of your business in that moment. So here's our efficiency audit agenda for today. First, the hidden business sinkhole. Then, stabilize your hardware foundation. Third, reclaim your system control. Fourth, the ultimate empathy test. And finally, your immediate priority checklist. This is how we're going to stabilize your communication tools without a massive, time-draining IT overhaul. All right, let's kick things off with Section 1, the hidden business sinkhole, quiet tech failures. Moving right along to Section 2, stabilize your hardware foundation, power and modems. Now, I really want to reframe how you think about hardware maintenance. Stop looking at this as a tedious IT chore. Think of it instead as the absolutely critical, invisible foundation of your business stability. Enter PoE, or Power over Ethernet. The source material calls this the quiet hero. And honestly, it truly is. Instead of having a chaotic mess of individual wall plugs just waiting to get kicked or randomly fail, PoE keeps every single phone running from one stable, centralized source. But here is the real secret sauce. Pair that with a small battery backup for your router and modem. Why? Well, because a standard router reboot shouldn't take your entire business offline. A battery backup keeps your switch alive just long enough to ride out those tiny 3-second power blips without dropping a single active call. And this brilliantly illustrates our next point, which brings us to your modem. Look, the reality is, most companies are running on the exact same hardware their internet provider dropped off years ago. And that old hardware? It's actively bottlenecking your call quality. It's causing jitter and giving you that terrible static-filled walkie-talkie sound. Upgrading to a new modem instantly stabilizes your bandwidth and gives your VoIP system the breathing room it desperately needs for crystal clear sound. And the best part? If you just ask your provider, they will usually replace that old dinosaur for free. I mean, it's literally an instant efficiency win. Next up, Section 3, reclaim your system control, software and costs. So we're shifting gears from the physical hardware over to your software and operational costs. Look, flexibility in your phone system is no longer just a nice-to-have luxury. It is the absolute baseline for running an efficient, modern business. On the left side of this equation, we have proprietary systems. Basically, if your phones only work with their specific hardware, their software, and their licensing, you are locked in. It slows you down, it ages terribly, and honestly, you're not really running a phone system, you're basically just renting one. On the right, we have open standards. Now, this is all about ownership and freedom. You can mix desk phones with soft phones, easily add users without buying brand new proprietary hardware, and scale freely without having to beg some vendor for permission. And you know what? That control extends directly to your budget. Usage-based billing is a complete trap disguised as flexibility. You have one exceptionally busy month, and suddenly your phone bill looks like a chaotic tax audit. It's absolute slot machine unpredictability. Flat-rate void plans, however, bring calm, predictable control. You get unlimited calling, no surprise fees, and vastly simpler budgeting. Because let's face it, your operational costs should never, ever feel like a gamble. Moving to Section 4, the ultimate empathy test, evaluating customer experience. Okay, this is the most direct, immediate fix in this entire explainer, and it requires you, the busy business owner, to step directly into your customer's shoes. Call your own number. Seriously, most business owners literally never dial their own main line. But doing a 30-second self-test will reveal more actionable data about your customer experience than a month's worth of IT support tickets. Because when you actually call, you might be shocked by what you hear. You might experience way too many rings before an answer. You might hear a muffled greeting that sounds like it was recorded in a broom closet back in 2009. You might get completely trapped in a maze-like phone menu or get transferred straight into voicemail purgatory. If you experience any of this during your self-test, you have to fix what feels slow, confusing, or unprofessional. Your phone system is so often your very first impression. You've got to make sure it's a good one. Finally, Section 5, your immediate priority checklist, the efficiency action plan. All right, we've done the audit, and now we're synthesizing these fixes into a concrete, executable action plan for your business. So the crucial point is, here's your checklist. Step 1, do that self-test today. 2, get a battery backup and utilize PoE. 3, call your ISP and upgrade that ancient modem. 4, ditch proprietary hardware for open standards. And 5, secure flat rate pricing so you can actually control your budget. Remember, these are not just optional upgrades. These are the foundational necessities of a reliable business communication system. Because when you actually execute this checklist and your foundation is finally solid, your calls stop being a liability. They start becoming what they were always meant to be: clear, human, and effortless. And really, that is the ultimate goal of business communication. So I want to leave you with this final provocative thought to take back to your team today. Is your phone foundation solid, or are you just waiting for the next crack? Don't wait for a tiny power flicker to drop your biggest client. Take this checklist, run your efficiency audit, and take control of your business's quiet foundation today.